This is a Headgum podcast.
I'd like to offer you your choice, couch or chair.
Deal with this.
Okay, I will.
Let's make changes.
I will.
That's a host section, and then this is first guest, and then when the second guest comes in, I slide down to here, right? And I throw bombs.
Yeah, we'll put a cactus there. Yeah. Can we put a cactus there in this chair for now? We have you're up first, and then we have Michelle Obama and crazy, but Netanyahu. Now, Jason, I want to get your take on this whole
such a booking
Israel Hamas thing. What's going on with that?
Israel and the dip of Hamas. Yes, going to focus. Do not disturb.
Yeah.
We're already 2 minutes behind.
Yes.
Fuck.
I want everybody to know
that I was
Jason
pretty
has
on
a hard
time.
out.
I have a hard out at 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because I'm embarrassed.
Your cameo? You doing cameos?
I do a series of cameos. How about you wash that fucking hat, bro?
I have. It's.
I know you're not keeping it unwashed for superstition because you guys have not lost in 35 years.
Yeah. And I have to say, I'm very, I'm disappointed, as I'm sure you are, that we're not watching a Braves and/or Dodger game.
Get swept?
Yeah.
Where's your
2 years in a row.
trash?
Oh, yeah.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, we got swept?
We didn't get swept, but we won one game.
I'll chew it quietly.
No, you just. Yeah.
Baby?
How are you kids? How are your daughters?
They are great. Franny is 16 now.
God
and
damn it.
know.
Holy shit.
She's going to be 17 in
That's crazy.
2 weeks.
Wow.
What are yours now?
Well, one's dead. It was aborted, but
Which
so I
one?
didn't get
Which
to know
one?
it.
Kind of hope it was
Frankie,
a good. Great.
which is kind
as
of
long as the other one's
could be
okay.
a girl, could be a boy. Hey man, that's God's will.
Yeah,
It's God's will.
we got nothing to do with it.
You know. And then Marlo, who's here and alive, is she'll be 7 in a couple months. I brought her out. Remember when I brought her out? She was like this. We went to you picked me up. I can't remember what I was doing here. Maybe arrested. And she was about 1.5, maybe 1-ish back then. And you came to pick me up. We were going to go to a Dodgers game. And I brought her out, kind of waved her at you. And
Look what we did.
well, it's that feeling. You want to show it off to your very, very, very good close friends.
The closest.
Dear friends. Do you remember when we went to that, we've gone to a lot of games together, but the one where we were right behind the on-deck circle, and they were playing the Cubs, and I think it was a wild card game, and we were literally right behind the guys, and every single player that would come up, I would just yell their name until they looked over, and then when they looked over, I go, "Will you follow me on Twitter?" Javi Baez, Javi Baez, Javi Baez.
Yeah, well, you can get away with a lot as long as you don't curse. And when you're sitting up front, I mean, you can just have at it, and they can't kick you out unless you curse. Like they're waiting for you to do a swear word, and then they'll boot you.
Are you talking about the
in any stadium? I found if you're lucky enough to sit close enough where the players can hear you,
right,
you can actually affect the game if you're smart as you are with the things that you might say to a player, like, "Hey, don't worry about this how big this situation is. It's just another game.
Right.
Like, don't worry about
You're here to have fun.
Yeah, you repeat the stakes to them. You can ask them if they inhale or exhale on their swing. which could really wreck somebody.
That's a good. I never thought of that. It's lefty on lefty, and he throws a curveball first pitch 62% of the time.
Yesterday, yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's good, clean fun as we get older.
Or find out some personal shit. Get a private detective if you know who the team you're playing and you know the situation. Hire a private detective to go through his trash, dig up some dirt, go, hey, who, Yolanda Jimenez or something?
You still remember her, right? I mean, it seemed like you had a pretty good 3 months with her. You're just stating facts. It's public information.
Well, I mean, it's public information, but
publicly sourced.
You went through the trash. Well, you didn't. You hired somebody to do it, so your hands are clean.
But what about so this is going to air long after are we live right now?
Live,
we should get started, by the way. I'm serious about that Hard Out.
I know. You have
a slate coming in here or
Is
something?
it a kid's birthday party or what are you doing?
Yeah, it is. It's an early.
I want to know what is embarrassing.
I'll give you a hint. Let's just look at my pants. And I want to show you that there's stretch in these pants.
Yeah.
You're not going to go wrestling.
Are you rock climbing?
No, it's going to be a golf game.
Oh, that's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, it's
at all. Why?
It's not football.
Well, did you ever play
football?
football?
Weightlifting. In a movie.
Yeah.
I played a guy that wasn't great at football.
But also your stunt guy played
stunt
most
guy
of
did a lot of it.
Yeah.
I was the face man.
What movie did you play football in?
It was called Necessary Roughness.
Was the roughness necessary? Did you
wasn't.
Find that?
It ended up
so it was
not
a play
being.
on.
It was.
Okay.
You had to. Yeah. Once you were in the seat, you realized that the roughness was completely unnecessary.
Did anybody ask for their money back when they found that out? Do you think?
I bet they did.
Yeah. I was told. I mean, you're selling me on roughness that is necessary. It turns out it's completely unnecessary.
The money wasn't necessary for this kind of entertainment. It was me for starters.
Mm-hmm.
There was
this is pre or post Teen Wolf 2.
Oh, everything's post Teen Wolf 2.
in the Jason Bateman.
That was 18. I did start when I was 10, but so there was it was a football team made of a softy like me, Sinbad, Scott Bakula, Kathy Ireland. Who else?
No wonder this thing tanked.
Right? I mean,
there's
who's gonna
literally
believe that
no reason to go.
No, they can't win anything.
What?
It was.
What a terrible team. Who did they play?
Kathy Ireland was the place kicker. Right. No one tried to make the audience believe she was going to be a defensive lineman.
They'd still be at the top of the division if they were in the NFC South, though, I bet.
Yes, that's true.
It'd still be about 5-2.
With a very favorable schedule coming.
Are you a football fan at all?
I am. I like the Cowboys because when I was a little boy, they were doing very well. This is in the 70s. So I do still have a place in my heart for them. But in LA, we didn't have a team for a long time.
Oh, right.
And that coincided with a period of my life where I enjoyed the gamble.
Oh, really?
So I
didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Oh, I love to bet on football. And so I fell in love.
How much did you lose?
On the time that the reason I no longer gamble.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it was like a $6,000 weekend or something. I mean, not in the world of gambling problems.
Right.
That's a pretty shallow bottom.
Yeah.
But it still scared me enough to get the hell out. But I managed to fall in love with any team that had a favorable spread. So I was quite the whore. And remain so. I can fall in love with any team, any weekend.
I guess that's.
I'm in a pick'em league now, where I just spent $100 at the beginning of the year, like our pathetic fantasy baseball league. Did you come in third this year?
No, dude. It wasn't as bad as 2 years ago, where I was doing quite well until the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then just. Epic slide, but
you're consistently disciplined and attentive.
I try to be.
We get a lot of owners in this crap league that I run, they're just deadbeats. You, my friend, you're a busy man, you're a family man, and yet you still find some time. God bless you.
I love it. I mean, it's a little to the consternation of my wife sometimes, where I'll get up. I'll even set my alarm sometimes if I around the trade deadline
That's
too.
pathetic.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
But yeah, when was the last time you won?
Back when I set my alarm clock to get Mark Pryor off the waiver line coming out of AAA.
Wow, this is going back. But you do just to let everybody know, Jason is the commissioner of, what is it, like 20 years now?
A loose use of the word. It's probably 20 years or something.
Yeah, we've been doing this league, and Jason's great at it. We started, by the way. We started when this has started.
We're in the podcast right now?
Yeah.
We're podding.
Yeah, we're P-casting.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Can we...
there's people over there.
Casey, guys, can you try to...
Are we going to call a listener?
Patent or not patent, but... Copyright P-casting.
Yeah.
And we'll put it on some shirts. So get on that now. We know we have some folks in Washington,
Got
D.C.
a crack team.
Yeah.
What is?
Yeah,
but hold on a second. What are we doing? What are we doing here? When do you have a fucking podcast? What's this called?
It's a good question. It's where is it? It's right there.
Sensitive working headgum. No, senses working overtime with David Cross.
Yeah.
Look at that nice sketch too. Who did that?
I should. I don't know his name offhand. I'm sorry, Dmitry
Shostakovich.
Yes, Shostakovich.
We'll cut it in later.
A great grandson of the famous
composer?
Shostakovich. Yeah.
Senses working overtime. Yes, I remember there was a my favorite thing I smelt, touched, ate, and poked.
Yeah.
At some point.
As I said in the cover letter, which you didn't read.
No, I did. But anytime you see a different color for Dear Jason, and then the rest of the thing is in black, it's like, oh, this is what he sends everybody.
Yeah,
no,
it's called a cover letter.
Yeah. There was last time I saw a cover letter was on the top sheet of the Arrested Development script.
What was it?
Did you ever get the script for Arrested? I'm sure you did, or was it just sides? Or anyway, when they sent me the script,
you're talking about the pilot.
The pilot.
Uh-huh.
The cover letter said,
"Dear David,
scratch out Jason. Right. Anyone who is looking for a nice dressing room, hair, makeup, lights, marks on the floor, this job is not for you. This is going to be basically news gathering. This is a mockumentary. We're going for something." They were basically saying to the agents, don't send us any of your candy ass diva actors. This is going to be something that's, we're going to go for something different here. I just remember reading that and going, they're never going to see me for this. I'm like a sitcom guy, and they're going for something kind of cool and subversive and no frills, and they need folks like David Cross, people with street
I came
cred.
to it later. I came a little later in the process. I think you had been set. Jeffrey and Jessica were set. The kids were set.
Was Arnett in yet?
No, because they wanted me to look at Job.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and also which I had no handle on. I had no.
You would have been so much better.
and also Buster too. They
what if you played all three? You could have done that. Mitch probably would have loved that.
Yeah. Just one mustache, and then you reveal that it's the same. It's the same guy doing.
It'd be a big
both
mustache that you could pull off, turn upside down, and make it into a beard for the other character.
Right, and it's like a Three's Company. Like, my twin brother's in the other room. I'll go get him. Hello, I'm the twin. Now I have to ask you because everyone asks me, and this is the most I'm straight. I'm
straight, and I don't color my hair.
You switched it up.
One of those two questions.
So what made you go straight?
Yeah, it just wasn't working out. It hurt.
Yeah. Physically or emotionally?
Emotionally.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not be
because sometimes
crass.
physically. Well, I don't think lovemaking is crass. Sorry.
Well, it really depends on what half of the equation you're going to be, David.
Right, top or bottom?
Listen,
or middle. Are you middle? You're a middle
podcast.
Jason Bateman's a middle.
Jason Meet Bateman.
So I have to ask you. So Jason.
Yes, David.
Any more Arrested Developments?
Oh gosh, if I had $1. Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. We have season 7.
Oh boy, you're skipping up. Right over 6.
They didn't work out those seasons. Yeah. No, you know what? It actually wouldn't surprise. First of all, no one's asked me that in a long time.
I have been asked that after. I mean, I used to get it literally all the time. Right. There's the first thing.
When's the movie?
Yeah. So I have to ask because everyone wants to know. But even after Jessica passed, I still get asked that. I'm like, how are we going to do it without Lucille? What?
It would be,
and I get a little angry,
It would be
ticked off.
Less than half the show without her. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a call saying,
really? No.
Well, yeah, but like in sort of like, couldn't you see Mitch calling and saying, "Hey, listen, you ever seen the Michael Apted thing? 7 Up, 14 Up, 20, and well, what if we did that?" It's like,
that's a pretty good impression, actually.
Right.
It does sound like that.
But couldn't you see him getting excited? And I could see us getting excited about the idea of like, oh yeah, we'll just revisit it every 7, 10, 20 years. And whoever's still alive gets to come in. And
that is actually interesting. Whoever's still alive,
right,
or not canceled. You can't be canceled either.
We'll just keep going until we run out of folks.
Well, I think it was actually, God, who had this idea? Somebody had a really great idea. We were starting to do the press for the last season, which was a bit of a debacle. But somebody had the idea of doing it animated. An animated Arrested with the same characters, and
that would be fun.
That would be fun, and I think people would like it. I think
the trick with not to give a real answer, but you've done animated stuff. I've done animated stuff, and what I didn't realize, but then did, is that you record the dialogue, and then a year later, an animator will push out the drawing that matches your reading. And you hope that the combination between facial expression and the line reading is the cocktail that up until then we as individuals have always been in control of. Right? Like you can say, "I love you" or "I hate you" with a different look on your face, and it's either going to be funny or dramatic. Like there's a two hands clapping there. And with animation, you're at the mercy of whatever this animator is going to put on your face, and so it's a tough thing. You just hope that the comedic recipe is landed.
It sounds like you did some animation that didn't really work out for you. Sounds like
blame it on the animator.
You came to this excuse later after the finished product.
Why is this not working? No, actually,
Jason, I'm the voice of the caramel M&M, right? You guys know that?
Just the caramel
Casey,
one?
did you? Just the caramel.
Oh, right.
I'm the voice of the caramel M&M. If anybody cares to.
No one. That's amazing. Yeah. He's the mute one.
He witnessed caramel M&M went through the Iraq War and witnessed some terrible things and stopped talking after that. There's a whole backstory I gave him.
Yeah, and now he's taking mushrooms for treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would, Mitch did an animated show called Sit Down, Shut Up that I did a voice in for a while. Did you do any of that?
No.
And he picked a great animator for that. So he would probably be great about getting an animator for it. But
I just thought it was a cool way to do it that we could all still do. But, because there were several issues with, we won't go into with the
You're talking about your deal.
Yes.
Your perk package.
Yeah. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. It's just lotion.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty simple ask.
I
have a gallon of lotion on standby, and and it's I understand it can be difficult when we're shooting up in the where were we in the
Simi Valley?
No, is that where the up in the desert kind of the mountains, whatever.
San Dimas or near Magic Mountain. Is that what we're talking about?
wherever we were for like 3 days. It was like an hour and
Some hot
40
place.
minutes.
I remember it was very hot.
It was hot, dusty, no amenities, and I just, if you gotta airdrop it or whatever, lotion.
Yeah,
right?
You can't be drying up.
I can't be drying up. I mean, this is the money right here. Look over here.
You do actually look pretty good.
Thank you.
We're not 30 anymore.
No, I'm not even close.
I'm 54. You're older than me, but not by much.
No, I'll be 60 soon.
In a couple of years.
No, next year. I'm 59.
What are we doing for 60?
I'm 59 and a half. I am. As of a couple of weeks ago, I think I want more adults to keep saying, I'm like on the Senate floor, like, listen to me, I'm 79 and a half years old.
David, what are we doing for 60? You got to kind of blow it out at 50, 60, 70.
No.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm
calling Amber. We're going to.
No.
Yep.
Amber, I've given strict instructions.
Yeah. That's where you get surprise parties from.
I don't. I wouldn't. I don't like that idea.
Well, you'll be tied down and gagged, so you just have to
I
deal
threw
with it.
Amber an epic. Her 40th birthday was a couple months ago, and I threw her an epic surprise party. Even though she knew I was throwing her a party, I still
managed to surprise her.
Yeah.
How?
On the level of it.
So she thought we were going to another dinner party.
Yes.
And it ended up being.
She wouldn't let me. She was real shitty about not letting me just. She was so. For months. I mean, I'm talking. Actually, a year. A year before it, she's like, hey, so you're going to do something special, right? Like that kind of shit. And like, as we were getting closer, like, she's sending me names like, hey, I know you haven't met her, but
if you were to do something, you should call.
Just make sure that, blah, blah is somebody, some feminist author. She, like whatever. And I had to move the space. So I had a big space. This is in Brooklyn, right? And initially, and I had this. The whole thing was supposed to be levels of surprises, right? So it started, there's this, around the corner from us, this kind of fancy high tea place. And I was like, oh, she'll like that. So I had her, like at 3:30, there was for her to go there and 3 friends surprising her. Oh, cool. Friends who lived there. Then half an hour into that, 4 more friends from out of town were going to show up.
She'd be like, what?
Yeah, so
David,
that happened.
You pulled off a surprise and she'd think it'd be over.
And then, there was like a dinner thing. And then I was like, oh, we're going to go to this place. And she kept, the list that she would send me was, and she's a very, very sociable person, unlike myself. Like she has a million friends.
My wife has all the friends. I have none.
And she gives me shit. Like, why don't you go out? Go call Sid, call John. Call Shannon. Go out. I was like, we'll watch the game, have a glass of wine.
Yeah,
eat
guys don't need a lot.
Pretzels, and she's always out and everything, and she has a million friends, and it got so big that we had to move. I was already on like a rooftop thing at the Wyeth Hotel in Williamsburg, and there were so many people. I had to move it to this larger space, and I kept every new person was like another $100 for catering and shit. Oh, it was, and she walked in, and she thought she was going to this like kind of. A banquet room, not a banquet room, but like a private dining room somewhere, and with like 35 people or something. And there were, I don't know, 100 plus from all over the country. People had come in from England as well, and just, it was great. And
DJ, band,
Questlove DJ'd.
Yes?
Yeah, he's a friend. He
Lord.
DJ'd our wedding upstate New York, yeah.
Was there a theme, David?
Just like, you married the most awesome husband in the world was kind of the unspoken theme.
Come with something nice to say about David.
Yeah. And, we had a friend of ours kind of helped me with this. And we had photos that were on, montage photos from when, through her life and all that stuff.
You didn't send out a thing and make everyone do some frickin' video for her, right? Like that drives me nuts.
No.
I think it's the laziest thing someone can do. It's like, hey, so don't say anything, but I'm gonna do this thing for Jim, and just send me just a 1-minute video of saying whatever. So it's like it's no work for the mate. Mm-hmm. It's just a ton of work for all the friends to send this video, and then you make second. Like a.
Just no video for Jason's birthday.
Scrap the
video
email to Jason
and get on those emails. Make sure they're not sent.
See if you can unsend. I so common I feel and so lazy. And then I've just come up with a real shitty kind of no.
Well, I think it might be fun for the person though. I get what you're saying. It's an easy thing for the, it's not like blowing 40 grand on a fucking dumbass birthday party in Brooklyn where you got to pay for cheese that's going to get thrown away.
Or remembering that really sweet thing she said she wanted 8 months ago, and you secretly got it and you sat on it and you wrapped it nice and you just you saved it.
Wrapped it nice.
Well, I mean, just remembering, she would probably love that instead of.
Can you do both?
Oh, you made all my friends see the.
I don't think people see it. I don't think women see it that way. I know that's. Here we go. Get ready to get the calls. Sexist.
Social media. You tell us what else you think women like and what they don't like.
Okay. I think women. I find this is just my experience and what I've observed in life. But women be shopping. I find that women be shopping. Yeah.
But you're still listening. It's important for you to listen, right?
That's what they say.
Listening and learning.
Yeah, that's what they say. And when I got married, I was like, I'm gonna be a better listener, and I'm gonna be more emotionally available. And but then I was like, I thought about it, and I was going to do it, but
you are doing a bit. But I will say, I qualify someone that was around before and around after, and she did push you in a good direction.
Oh, she did. Yes, that is true. Well, as Amanda did for you, you know.
Oh yeah,
and I
remember you. Yeah, you and I did have some time before Amanda.
Well, Hank.
Oh, Hank, that was.
Yeah.
Now I later named a dog that. My
really?
dog Hank, who's now passed. Yeah, did you ever meet Hank?
I did. The French bulldog.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a little. And I think Hank the Tank came from. Wasn't that what Will Ferrell called himself in Old School?
I never saw that. I don't know, but
that movie's funny.
But so back in the early days.
This wasn't a prompt for you to go ahead and just let your listeners know what a fucking wipeout I was.
Well, I'll tell you what. You were, take this however you want. You were a lot more fun.
Yeah, no, I know.
So you were crazy. I mean, I'd put you up there in the top 10 of
just messes.
But good, fun messes. Not for you and for those who loved you, but to hang out with. Because I can go there easily. Still do sometimes. Much less now. But yeah, you were you weren't you were fun trouble. You weren't
I don't remember drinking because I was sad. I remember drinking because I was in a great mood and let's take this 10 to a 12.
Yes, that's which is how I am too.
Right? Yeah. It's more hedonist than
for sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something about climbing a light pole?
It was somewhere here in Silver Lake too. I think I got up on managed to climb up a
tall one. Yeah,
like a red light thing.
No, it was a street. It was a light on the sidewalk at some.
Was I climbing up to get my belt? Had I thrown my belt up there or something?
Oh wait, you know about. I don't know if we ever gave it to you. Holy shit. Do you know Will and I? So I had the belt, and Will, we hid it. We had it in one of our dressing rooms, and we were going to like gift wrap it or something.
The belt from my pants.
The belt from what other belt?
Well,
a conveyor belt.
One
you know how you always travel with a conveyor belt?
Right. Well, I thought you were talking about the one for masturbation that you show me that you use.
Oh, the S&M thing?
Yeah, the self-asphyxiation one? No?
Yeah. No, that's, well, you don't call it a belt in the biz.
You call it a lover.
Yeah. You got to really hip yourself to the lingo. Your belt that, yes, I think we threw it up somewhere. You threw it up somewhere, and then you had to go get it. But at some point you forgot you got it and then forgot it. So I brought it to Will. I was like, oh, Jason and I we had a fucking epic night and blah, blah, blah. And the joke was going to be, we were going to give it to you like a year later. And I think we forgot. It's probably still in one of those Star Wagons somewhere.
Double banger over there at 20th? Yeah. Huh.
It's
next to the can of tuna fish I left up high in his closet, waiting for it to create a stink months later.
I probably told you this, but one of the greatest pranks ever. It was simple. It wasn't, clever, but it was. I was doing a movie with Jay Moore and Dennis Leary, and Jay and Dennis were like frenemies, adversarial. It was all about stand-up and stuff. And then Jay went to Dennis's trailer and took a shit, and then closed all the windows and turned the heat, blasted the heat. I was like, wow, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, it all comes down to how long you can keep that room hot. Right?
I think, well,
you do it the night before.
In the middle of the summer in L.A., it's not going to cool down much.
Not great.
How are you dealing with the homeless situation out here?
It's tough.
Yeah. Any ideas?
I do have a couple.
Yeah.
We just put a fund together and buy them all homes. Would fix it.
You're right.
Yeah.
I honestly, I was walking down. I was actually coming back from here because I came here yesterday just to make myself familiar with it and the area and how long of a walk it would be. And
hang on, you were scouting out your commute to make sure you weren't late. This is what you do the day before shit?
Yeah. Is that funny to you?
Well, there's apps now where you can kind of educate your drive time.
Oh, I walked. This is it turned out to be 2.2 miles. I had the day
button.
off.
It's a little picture of a dude mid-stride. You hit that button, and it'll tell you how long it'll take for you to walk.
And who's that? That's a picture of like Jerry West as the guy.
I had 3 callbacks for that shoot. My silhouette was not lean enough.
Who is it?
They can't find him.
Oh, really?
He's still walking.
He's still. Do you remember? He's passed now, but the guy, the guy who read
was the picture for the crosswalk sign.
Yes,
he's dead.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. That was Billy Barty, right? I thought Billy Barty died. Good luck with that reference. No, do you remember it was a real guy, and he was around here, Silver Lake, Los Feliz, Echo Park, but he would just have shorts on, no shirt, and like long athletic socks, and he would have a newspaper, and he walked the fastest walker I've ever seen. When he died, there was actually an obituary, but he was like a town character guy. He
would just walk in shorts and socks reading a paper.
With a newspaper. He had a newspaper, but you know how you can fold it?
Sure.
He folded it like in a quarter.
Right. A guy
and he would sit there and he would walk up and down Sunset Boulevard. He died like 7-8 years ago, and there was literally a thing, an obituary, and he was a doctor or he was a retired something, doctor or attorney or something like that, and he would haul. I mean, it was comical. He was hauling ass with looking at this paper like it was like weird, like he's mentally. Do
you think he might have had a mental issue, David? Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
But I mean. And maybe that's what he did to clear his head or something, but he'd be there every morning.
He was well informed.
I don't know how you can I never saw him turn the page. I don't know how you can read and walk that fast, and then also avoid, people and human shit that is on the sidewalk here.
Imagine how much longer he would have lived had he lived during the age of the daily. Where you just listen to the news.
Yeah.
He'd still be walking, head up, eyes up,
faster. Yeah,
avoiding traffic.
Yeah. I wonder if he's one of those guys he's kind of like a Luddite that way. Like he isn't interested in an ear pod.
No,
thank
he'd
you.
much rather read it. Doesn't trust it.
Yeah. I don't even know how you physically do that. But.
Great time for a commercial break. Guys,
you're right.
We run a spot,
hey guys,
real quick spot.
David Cross here.
Thanks to our sponsor,
Omaha
Headgum.
Steaks. The greatest steak. That's one of my favorite things about when you listen to like Sean Hannity and Mark Levin and those kind of right-wing guys. And I don't listen to AM radio unless I'm here in LA, and then I listen to it a lot. I do, yeah. I'm when I'm driving around and stuff. But those guys will be on their shows and they'll be yelling and screaming about somebody in the government, and they're lying to you. They're hypocrites. They're just lying out of their teeth. And when they go seamlessly into their and they're just lying to you nonstop. Folks, I have the best sleep of my night. Last night I got a Magic Fingers mattress, and the good folks at Omaha Steaks, best steak I've ever eaten. They go right into it.
Well, they're dealing with
You can't trust these people. They'll lie to your face. Folks, have you ever had half and half but said, this isn't creamy enough? Well, the good folks at Acres Farms are...
He's got a pliable audience.
Yes.
So let's talk about politics. Thank you, by the way, for coming on the podcast today.
Absolutely.
What is your feeling about the future? Are you bullish? Are you a little pessimistic? How do you think things are going to go over the next 6 to 12 months?
Oh boy, well, let me give you two answers. One is the larger overview, and it's and I'm being serious here. I am by nature a pessimistic, cynical person, but since I had a kid, I not proactively, but have found myself, and now I've embraced it, in being optimistic and finding the good in things that I didn't necessarily see before.
You don't get exhausted by that effort, in that your good picture gets tarnished at some point.
I mean, but it always, yes and no, but I can't afford, I don't want to raise a kid and be that cynical and pessimistic, at least around her, or for it even to come out in ways that I'm not even realizing. And she and all her friends and the kids at school are just, I mean, I love watching those kids. I love the innocence and the that they're not assholes, and they haven't, some of them, including my daughter, might turn into that. I don't know, but right now they're awesome.
As a parent, I find myself sort of trying to find the right moment to start to condition them that it's not all unicorns and rainbows.
Yes.
Like at some point you want them to have some sort of coping mechanism for the realities of not everybody gets a trophy, not everybody's bright, not everybody has an ethic or moral compass, et cetera, et cetera. But like, when is that? Like as soon as they're smart enough to intellectualize it, or do you give them a little time with that brain?
Well, that's a great question. I'm sure everybody has their own intuitive feeling of when that is. When she was still a fetus, we put AirPods on her ears, and she would listen to the daily, and
so she came out pretty hot.
No, because something that we couldn't fix. We couldn't figure out, because once you go in there, you can't go back in there. And
it's like shark's teeth.
It switched over to the Smartless podcast, and now everything is just you can't get a serious thing. It's all silly bullshit, And she has spent, and she's only 6 going on 7, but for her entire life, even before she was speaking, some of her first words were she cannot figure out whether she wants a Hyundai or a GMC Sierra.
Yeah, no.
And it's
Or
an
tuna fish
issue.
sandwich.
It's a big issue. And
well, one's professional grade, and one is just it's your journey. It's how do you pick between a journey that is
Right.
yours
mm-hmm.
or something that is absolute professional grade?
It's when you put it that way, it's really tricky.
Right?
And I think there's something about who's giving me this information. Is that person trustworthy?
The messenger.
Yeah, the messenger.
Yeah.
And I'll
That's why Sean's there. Because when you fall in the gap between me and Will Arnett, there is the fertile land of Sean P. Hayes.
and his voice is quite different.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yours is soothing, and it's almost like a blanket.
Sure.
Not
wet.
Not a
Warm.
wet blanket. Warm. It's like one of those.
Careful.
It's like one of those fart capture blankets
that's
that they have.
hurtful. There you go. It is.
Those are comfortable.
The fart blankets.
Well, you don't. It's not. It's to soak up your fart. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Blanket thick enough to mask all sound and smell.
That's a real thing that is available.
The muffler.
I'm going to tell Amanda she might want to look into. It is. That's a real thing. And then
we sleep. We have 2 duvets. I don't know I'm being serious here.
Yep.
I want you and Amber to try this. It's I wouldn't call it a marriage saver like the DVR, but this is a good thing.
The DVR saved your marriage.
Well, a good portion of it. Hey babe, you want to go out Friday night? Can't. Big game. What do you mean? Well, Dodgers are playing big game. Well, can't you just tape it? Babe, no, it doesn't work. But with the DVR, it's super. Now, yeah, great. Let's go wherever you want to go Friday night. I don't care.
But then you spend the entire night going, could you turn that TV off, please?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm taping it.
Exactly. Everybody, can you turn your phones off for me? Thank you. But 2 duvets.
Okay.
Which for the Philistines out there is just a big warm top cover.
I think people know what a duvet is.
Well, some of them don't. It's like, what's crew today? Well, it's a veggie plate. You talk to your buddy who was running for governor over there, and what was his name? Dr. Oz. Right? Remember him? Remember the trouble your pal got into with that?
My pal.
Yeah. So 2 duvets. If you're a light sleeper like me, when your partner turns over, right, as you do 1,000 times, that duvet gets pulled off of you, or just slides across your butt. It'll wake you up. You have 2 duvets. That way, you're wrapped in your thing. And if she's going to roll around and do whatever she does with her kicking and her twisting and her goddamn, you're still sleeping. You're fine. Do you understand what I'm saying? David.
I think, can I suggest instead of 2 duvets?
A divorce.
Therapy. Marriage counseling.
Yeah, we're doing that too.
Okay. Did the guy say, or the woman go, angles. Can I tell you 2 duvets? No, well, here's the thing. I became a light sleeper. I was never a light sleeper until my daughter was born. And then I wake up
one
like
ear,
that.
one ear.
I mean, always, I would wake up easily. And, but I also, my wife and I, she's from Southern California. I'm not. So we have different,
temperature.
Yeah, like her realm of comfort is about 12 degrees.
Yeah.
Outside of that 12 degrees on either side, she's either too hot or too cold. And I feel bad for people who are born and raised here with their inability to function outside
temperature
of
regulate.
Yeah. Actually, I don't feel bad for them. I feel bad for their partners who have to deal with that. When anything's below 60, it's freezing, and if it's above 75, it's boiling, and so
you're
sleep.
going to be a dream when she hits menopause. You're just going to be about the best partner you could imagine. Are you fucking kidding? You're what? You're hot again.
I'll be long gone. There's a large gap in our age. Large age gap. You can deal with.
Oh God, you'll just be dead.
Yeah,
we haven't moved on to some little starlet.
No. No. I would. I'm very happy in our marriage. It's
We've made news today.
No, it's good. I mean, she's
It's going to be good.
not the greatest.
It's the greatest Tobias line ever. How are things going? Good. It's going to be good.
I think I improvise that.
It's pretty good with a full body lean. It's going to be good.
That was our first scene together. Yeah, and then
I remember finishing that scene and going over to Mitch Hurwitz, our boss. I said, because you had clearly done a take on the character that no one could imagine. You're David Cross, for Christ's sake. And so I finished that scene with you. It's the first time I'd seen you do the character. I'm playing, somebody, so straight. It's just boring to watch.
Yeah.
But here you are doing this incredible take on him. But it was just so through me. I was like, oh, fuck, are we in the same show? I remember pulling Mitch Hurwitz aside going, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I said, hey,
I can't work with him.
Yeah, no, this guy, he seems great, but is this what you had in mind? Is he doing what you wanted? Because, I can adjust for sure. I can get in his show, but does he need to come to mine? Or are we good? He's like, oh, no, it's great. This is good. I said, okay, here we go, take 2. And I actually had the same note on Horrible Bosses. I remember after doing the table read, I think I've told both these stories before, I apologize. But after hearing, I'd never seen Charlie Day do his thing on Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Sudeikis, it can do a million different things. He's sketch comedy. But I remember after the table read for that, I remember pulling the director aside and saying, hey, so should I go into their movie or should they come into mine? How do we? He's like, no, I think it's great. I go, okay, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to play this character in a way where I can't believe I'm still friends with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cool with you? It's like, sure. Can I see it? I'm like, here it comes. So I just played the whole film.
Who directed it?
Seth Gordon.
Okay.
Just furious that I was still friends with a couple of nincompoops like this. And it worked. I think I did the same thing for Arrested Development. But it was sort of written in the show that my character was just outraged that he was surrounded by such.
Yeah, you're frustrated
idiots.
constantly. You're babysitting. You're
Right.
and the incompetence around you that you're surrounded by, but it really made those moments where,
like when you say, "I just blew myself." And then I could just stare at you and just blink a couple times, just fascinated at how you just don't understand what you just said.
Yeah.
And what's that line I say? Like, have you ever just recorded what you say just for a day?
Yeah.
Do you have one of those little tape recorders, Tobias?
But when your character would find the strength to go, fuck these people, I'm moving. George Michael, let's get at it. And then it gave it so much, it grounded it and made it so there's like this empathy and
right, and somewhat relatable. Like, okay, at least there's somebody from Earth in with these Martians, and then
because it wasn't just the family, but a waiter or a doctor or a lawyer or
what about Ian? Remember as the doctor? They just could never
the literal. What
really?
Was it? He took everything.
Super literal.
Yeah.
He. What was he saying? He's all left. He's left hand. Remember when?
Buster's.
He left his hand or lost his hand. Anyway, we should do the animated version. We should get that going today.
I thought that was a good idea. Jason, you only have
strong 11 minutes left.
11 minutes left.
Let's finish strong here. We seriously should roll at some point because it's going to be a very short episode.
This
rehearsal has been incredible. I think we're at speed.
Well, we're just setting the cameras, yeah. We're going to end with a question from Marlo. I have her give me questions for every guest, and we'll get to that. I want to make sure, because Jason's got to leave.
He's got to get to the golf course.
He's got to get to a golf course. What do you do? You get do you pre-order your own Arnold Palmer?
Yeah.
You have that waiting
Arnold
for me?
Palmer waiting for me in the golf cart when I get there. That's the way it works in golf.
And this is what you're raising money for?
Well, a lot of it is for charity.
Okay, you want to Be a little more specific.
They're pretty discreet, actually. No, they don't want to be showy about it at all, but they need it. So I gotta get there.
And who are you playing with? Troy Aikman, and Lil Yachty, and who's on your team?
And Sinbad.
And Sinbad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You've maintained a relationship with him after all these
never
years.
left each other.
You never what?
Never left each other after that.
Oh, I thought you said you never liked each other.
No, I did not say that.
It sounded like that. Casey, you want to
Let's just run that back.
get an AI thing and have him say that. Now, Jason, what's the
Capricorn?
Okay, there you go. Capricorn. That's your favorite movie?
Capricorn 1 is.
Capricorn 1?
Yeah.
Now, what did you think of Capricorn 3?
Is about 3 times as good as the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that kind of that's how I felt about Jaws 3D, because Jaws was great. Jaws 2, Jaws 3D. Holy, this time it's personal. That was the tagline. Jaws 3, for real. The tagline was, I remember this.
I think it was, this one's going to hurt.
That was 7. Jaws 3, I'm not making this up, but you can go look at it. This time it's personal. The shark was took something personally from the last, the last 2 movies. I think it was the mom or something. And
I think he was upset about the deal structure. He knew this one was going to be quite profitable.
Right. And Jaws 3D has some of my favorite extra acting too. When there's like an aquarium underground tube. There's a scene. Did you ever see it?
You're talking about the Georgia Aquarium, the underground tube. I
love the Georgia Aquarium. That's one of my all-time favorite places. I'll be going back there for Thanksgiving. We go to most of my family's still in Atlanta, and go back there every year for Thanksgiving, and always go to the aquarium, take Marlo. I love it.
Give Uncle Jerry his hat back. You might want to wash it before you return it.
Well, I have washed it. I've washed it.
You might want to try a soap.
Yeah. I keep washing it in, it's a Native American thing where you wash it in dirt and grease. It goes back. It's like, I want to say Arapaho. You're
going to get a lot of emails on
Casey,
that.
look up the Indian, might be Cree.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I forgot. Hey, stay right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Should I play a little music? Wait. How's that lower back, Pops?
I got you this, speaking of dirty hats. Here, I got this hat for you.
Turning it, looking at it. Hey, Los Angeles, 50 years, tops. Yeah. This is very good.
All right, good.
Mitchell and Ness. Yeah. Is it 7.5?
Is that right?
I think it is.
Yeah, because when you were...
No.
It's
a little tight, but as soon as I get rid of my Danny Terrio hair,
but you know what? You've got a big head. Your ego is swollen.
As soon as I get knocked down a peg, this is going to fit great. Damn it. Go. Well, where do we get... Oh, I need a bigger, because I like this.
You know what? I asked him, I was guessing, because you don't know this, but I flew out here. I know you're a light sleeper, but I measured your head. Do you remember you overslept one day? That was because I had put a bunch of Advil PM in your steak, and so that it was so I could come in and measure your head, which I did. And I had the calipers and everything. And then
couldn't get all the way under for fear of waking me up, and that's why we've got a bad size
so
here.
I guessed on the fraction.
Yeah.
I knew it was 7 something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked the lady when I got the hat, I was like, can I return this if his head is grown since I measured it? And she said no, but also... I don't work here, and this isn't a hat store. And I was like, oh, she said, but if you want to ring up that ball gag, then I think that gentleman over there is who you want to talk to. I was like, all right.
You've painted a good picture. This was on your scout when you were scouting your commute to work the other day?
Yep.
Just walking up and down Sunset here?
Yeah. First of all, you say that like it's crazy, but that's only because you don't walk.
No.
I like to walk, and I'm I'm right around the corner from where I was last time I was here. You picked me up. We went right by Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And I walked because I had time. I have a day. I'm in the middle of a tour. I'm about to end this tour, 74 shows, something like that.
Are you playing here in Los Angeles?
I mean, I did a while ago.
Where's the phone call? Or a text or an email?
Oh, you know what? That's right. I'm supposed to text and phone every single person I know in LA.
I sound like your mom right now, right?
Yes,
like,
you do.
Why didn't you tell me you were on Letterman? What does it matter?
Oh my God, my mom all the time. Like in little stuff, like
right, it's your fault.
But it's like why did you tell me? Not even like a bigger thing, like just whatever.
Or just a petulant sort of like, congrats on such and such, like something you may have mentioned on a talk show. So just drop it.
I didn't know. Well, she doesn't get, she gets a little whiny, but not like shitty. But it'll be more like, I didn't know you did an ad for the old spaghetti factory. And
that's certain stuff you try to keep quiet.
Yeah. I didn't know you have an OnlyFans.
Boy, I just learned what that was the other day.
Oh, yeah,
Somebody tried to walk me through that.
Right. You just learned about that the other day. What a fucking...
On my kids,
no one believes you.
On my kid's life, I've never gone on that site.
There's a difference between going on the site and being aware of what it is.
Well, at some point, you don't know anything till you know it, and somebody...
What?
Yeah. True. You don't know anything till you know it, right? You're not born with a base of knowledge.
You sound like an 8-year-old trying to get out of something. You don't, you don't know anything till you know it, right? That's what you said, Dad. You said that one time.
Well, you don't know the red light is for stop and the green light's for go unless somebody tells you that, right? You could assume that the green means stop or red means go, but that's not what somebody told me. Now I know for the rest of my life, red means stop because someone told me that. OnlyFans. Somebody told me this is a porn site for amateurs, maybe?
As I know it, it's... Or
wait, no, I'm confusing that with
OnlyFans is
Headgum. Red Tube.
No, RedTube is porn, right?
Right? Isn't that amateurs?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just into like granny
dumb
shit.
Now?
I'm into
just
Eastern Bloc.
Teen Steam?
No, Eastern Bloc grannies.
Someone who's selling a goat and some rugs, it really gets you going?
Yeah, but with like, cleavage. No, OnlyFans is like you can, because I've seen so many stories of like cops or teachers who are trying to supplement their income who have an OnlyFans account but it's like, I don't think it's porn. I think it's like nudity, right? Yeah, I don't think it's porn. It's like naked pictures.
Oh, so it's just still pictures.
I think. Oh, I don't know. Maybe video too. But you know what? It's like you sign up, you get Casey.
It's too late. I think you've already exposed that you kind of know the apparatus.
Oh, I do know what OnlyFans is. I'm not. I live in America in 2023. So yes,
you got
I know
an invite email.
Yes, I have an account.
Do you?
Yeah.
So then, how does it work? Is it there's stills, or is there a video that you could pay a little extra for video?
I think it's something like that, because there was literally a story 2 days ago about a teacher. Somebody was running for office, a Democrat in Virginia. I'm not kidding. Who like was supplementing her income as a teacher with an OnlyFans account, and then. Something like that. I'm probably conflating a couple stories.
Is she still a viable candidate?
It was like someone either running for office or in office, and her husband had like a joint OnlyFans, and then she got in trouble.
She's a Democrat too.
And it's her just showing naked shots of herself, or is she engaged in some sort of sexual act?
You can pull it up.
Let's pull it up.
Great. Here we go.
Guys, actually, it's 9:30.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jason. You got to go.
Well, isn't that convenient, David? We were so close to Amber's OnlyFans page. Trying to market that on your podcast. It's pathetic.
Let's not leave money on the table, as they say, right? How many years, good years left? Sorry. How many good years left does Amber have? All right.
Well, so let's make we were talking about the other day. How many Christmases do we have left?
Yeah. before the Jews take over and do away with Christmas. All right.
I feel like I'm cutting you off short. We haven't talked about my favorite smells, tastes, touches.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll do a sequel.
Wait, I'm starting to think that cover letter might have been a bit.
No, this is the premise. But as I said, it's just a jumping off point to have a conversation. All these first
test episodes that will never air
have been with friends that I can easily have a conversation with, that I enjoy talking to. Because when I was approached about doing a podcast, they wanted a hook. And I said, I don't know, can I just talk to people? I'm good at that. I've been doing it pretty much for, since I was 3. And they said, no, it's good. You got to have a hook. And it took me about a month and a half, 2 months. I came up with this hook. But I said, as I said in the cover letter, this is, if we don't get to it, we don't get to it. It's just, let's have a conversation. We don't get to it,
that means we've had a satisfying conversation. It's a good sign if you don't get to it. It's a very good
sign.
And the hook is, just for clarification, you will, basically break glass moment, you will ask them what's their favorite thing per
what's the loudest
sense.
Thing you've ever heard? What's the
And that's sold to whoever was financing the podcast. You're like, I've got it.
It's a podcast. Nobody gives a fuck.
Amen. Right? I don't know.
Does anybody
who's got
care?
the time to listen to a podcast?
I don't. I don't. I listen to the Rabbit Hole and I listen to Serial. Those are the only 2 podcasts.
What's Rabbit Hole?
It was about going down. It was about the algorithm radicalizing people.
Oh, really?
It's great. It's great. It's
now,
really
where are you
good.
listening to this? On your long commute, or when you're scouting your commute? When you're walking around?
I don't. Nope. When I'm on set, I have teeny little earbuds.
And when you're not doing your lines and the other person's doing their lines.
When I'm off camera, I'm listening to I just cooking stuff, stews and soups.
Yeah.
Now listen, I know you have to get drinking.
Charity.
So for charity, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Raising money for Hamas?
Well, it's you don't know.
You raise the money, and God bless them. Let's hope it goes somewhere good.
It's less important what they spend it on. It's more important that we earn it and raise it.
That's a good slogan. Here's a question from Marlo for Jason Bateman. Do weeds provide air for you?
I believe they do. They're little tiny trees, and trees provide air for us, right? So maybe the weeds are there to provide air for the smaller people, like Marlo, that sweet little angel. She's breathing weeds. She's breathing weeds just like her daddy does. He lights those up and he inhales them deep, and then he sees pretty colors.
I think. Well, what am I putting in the weed that's making me see pretty colors?
Well,
I mean, weed doesn't make you.
Well, it depends. Well, if it's just hemp, probably not. But if it's the weed I think we're talking about, you can see some colors.
Wow, I mean, it's 2023. You sound like
hooch. Sorry, hooch. Oh no, hooch is booze, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Black Betties or
what are those?
Speed Whizzes. Some dust croppers.
Whippets.
Well, that's a real thing. Yeah. We did whippets together, I think.
We did?
I think so, yeah. I think we did.
Isn't that how Paul Lynde died?
Is it really?
I think he did. I think he
I don't know about that.
Can we can probably Google
But how do you die from whippets? What does it do?
Too many? Too much.
Too much all at once, but not over time, right?
I don't think you can. No, I think it's going to have to be one session. Too many.
And like one of the
too many canisters.
Blue velvet masks thing.
Yeah.
Gas mask. Jason, thank you so much for doing this. This is a pleasure and always good to see you. And
my pleasure. I mean, I love that. This is when can we enjoy this podcast?
Probably not till January. I think we're going to bank a bunch. I've been still on tour. The tour ends on Saturday.
Here, it must be here.
No, it ends in. No, I'm here in between. So I was in Boise 2 nights ago. Recorded the CD, and then was going to go to San Luis Obispo, and I canceled that show. And now, so
Just
I'm
furious
here.
with the name.
Yes,
You couldn't get past it.
I don't like the Spanish.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's, the words get fumbled in my mouth. And then I go to Santa Cruz or St. Cruz. Why can't you say St. Cruz?
That's the last show.
Saint Diego. What's the it's America. And the last show is in Tucson on Saturday. So I go Santa Cruz, Santa Fe, and Tucson. And then I'm done. It's 74 shows total. And I go back home. I'll be doing more of these back in New York. I just started trying to, on the days off. And then I'll really be able to bank a bunch of them. Go to London, going to do some in London. And then I'll have a bunch ready to go.
Nice.
And then and then I'll, so probably January. Should we make this the first episode?
For sure.
That's probably
Really?
That's
more than
probably a
more than
bump.
Bob Odenkirk?
That's probably no. Fuck Bob.
Really?
Oh, Bob. I think I get a bump if this is the first episode. Pretty sure it's on the back page. I think is
all right. So we'll make
language.
Bob the first episode then.
Well,
And,
hang on.
Yeah. Anyway, Jason, thank you.
Give my best to Bob. You haven't even taped that one, and you're just assuming it's going to be better.
Oh, we taped it. It was
Tip top.
pretty cool. It was some
Did he
cool-
give you longer than 60 minutes?
Yes.
Well, he's not charitable.
No, he was playing cricket for himself. He was raising money for himself. Like playing cricket.
A big cricket fundraiser.
Yeah, yeah.
You just don't hear about him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, for good reason. Nobody cares about it. Here, yeah. Oh, India, Pakistan, Australia. It's huge.
But you recorded this episode in South Africa, right?
Yep. J Berg. Have you ever been to Johannesburg?
I haven't.
It's
Far.
rough. It is far. It's far. For us, it's not far for them. They're around the corner. But oh man, it's a strange, weird place, man. It's weird. It's
Different than Cape Town.
I haven't been to Cape Town, but yes, it is different. I think it's because that's where Soweto is, and it's like I know we did this drive around, but it's and I went to the Apartheid Museum, which is brutal. And
One's a tough city, and the other one's a major.
Johannesburg's the one where you will see upper class and upper middle class because there's no real sense of middle class there, but you'll see these nice houses but not crazy mansions or whatever with all just gated and armed guards. It's fucking nuts. It's
barbed
weird.
wire and
Yeah, for not like a big mansion, just it's interesting. Nice people. We met nice people, but
I guess we do live in a nice place.
we have money.
Love it or leave
know.
it, right?
There's a lot of not nice places, though.
I'd like to see you run for Speaker of the House.
Okay.
Do you think by the time this airs, we'll have a speaker?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody. What a clown show, man. It's crazy. It's been enjoyable if it wasn't so
Heartbreaking.
heartbreaking and hurtful, yeah.
But it ain't Joburg.
No, it's no Johannesburg. We don't. But we will become like Johannesburg. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we'll be gone by then.
Yeah.
Amber will still be around, though.
Yeah, well, that's on her then. They're not coming with. All right. Thank you so much.
Love you, David.
That was a Headgum podcast.